Hey there children, welcome back. So today we're going to be tackling a project I've been meaning to do for some time. I've started it and got busy with other things and never got back to it. So today I'm going to finish it. This is a Foxwell NT-630 Elite scanner. It does your OBD2 test modes, it does full service functions, it does your ABS and your airbags, as well as a plethora of other things. It's not your standard scanner like the ones you'd find in most automotive shops, retail stores and whatnot. They'll range from, $15 to $60, something like that. This one is a serious tool, and the price isn't that bad for what you get actually. Foxwell makes a ton of these, a ton of different types of scanners, pretty much customizable for anything you want to do. This one is, as I said, it's better than the other ones. The cheaper models, it's like throwing a rock into a field. It tells you your problem's over there in that general area, and that general area can usually mean somewhere in between the front radiator and the tailpipe. So if you're looking for something to narrow it down, this is the kind of thing you want. They're fully upgradable. You can download the different test modes and language that each car speaks, whatever. So say one day you're dealing with a Porsche, you can put a Porsche in the onboard memory. The next day you're dealing with a Ford, you can put Ford in. You can have them all in, or you can just select a couple. Inside of it, it has a SD card, which comes with a 3 gigabyte, and that's plenty. It's got your USB connection on the outside so that you can connect it to your laptop or desktop computer, whatever you have. It uses the different style, the fatter USB, not the really skinny ones like you find in most Android devices. And the other side is just your standard USB to connect into whatever computer you happen to have. So it also comes with your cord to connect from the scanner itself to the car. These are all standardized. It'll fit just about anything. I haven't come across one that it doesn't. It's plenty long. It gives you enough room to move it around inside the cab a bit, and I'll get into why that is in a minute. So inside the case you get your instruction manual, you get a brochure that tells you of their other models and whatnot, things that they offer. Little tip, put a little notebook and a pencil inside, or a pen. That way if you have to write down a code, you can. It stores it all inside and you can take it anywhere you want to go with it, but this is handy if you just need to write it off somewhere. I put a little Velcro tape in there, and actually it just kind of Velcros right in place and hangs out there. So, alright. So, like I said, this is a OBD2 scanner, and on top of that it does ABS, airbags, it does your ABS bleeding, ABS motor tests, transmission diagnosis, airbags and ABS diagnosis, full system diagnosis, service functions, special service functions, oil resets, TPMS resets, BMS, SAS, EPB, DPF, etc. It does your lamp and relay tests. It does TCS tests, traction and manual tests. It can check voltage load, system ID, gear tension relief tests, hydraulic control tests, pump monitor tests. It can tell you the vehicle identification number from the computer in the car or truck. It does your steering angle. It monitors your O2 sensors and has O2 sensor tests. Resets most codes and trouble lights and whatnot, so it can clear the airbag light or the check oil light, or those kind of things. The O2 sensor tests are very handy, because if you've ever had to deal with one of those, and it's quite common that you do actually, that it can be tough to narrow it down. This one is unlike the other ones. This one says the problem is right here, this side of the vehicle, in this location. You can replace it, fix it, take it to a mechanic, blow it up, whatever you want to do, but this is your problem. So it can tell you which sensors are where. It tells you the number and whatnot, corresponding number to it, and then all you have to do is look online and it'll tell you the exact location of that sensor. so you're not guessing and whatnot. It also tells you if the problem for the sensor is one of several kinds of problems. You know, it could be voltage, it could be dirty, it could be completely dead, loose connections, that kind of stuff. It narrows everything right down. On top of narrowing everything right down for you, it allows you to do real-time testing as well as freeze frame. So you can actually plug this into your car, turn it on, set up the right test, put it in the console beside you, and go for a drive. And while you're driving, it's recording a whole bunch of data. You could do all the data, or just specific portions that you want to do. So say you're worried about the fuel system, you can set it up to only worry about the fuel system. If you're doing electrical, you can monitor all the electrical. It depends on how you set up the test. So you can actually drive around with it, because let's face it, the problem almost never happens when you're looking for it at home or whatever. It always happens while you're out. So this can help with that. You download the data, it runs a test, then you take it, you plug it into your laptop, and you can actually go through the tests and look at everything and see what's happening. So it'll tell you your RPM, it'll tell you how much fuel a specific cylinder is using, it'll tell you the temperature of that specific cylinder, it will tell you exhaust, catalytic converter, O2 sensor data, your compression, your voltage output, and you can do also what's called freeze frames. With freeze frame data, you can actually take a snapshot of the engine systems, electrical, the coolant temperature, IM readiness, all that, and compare it to live data, or check it over by itself. Many times it'll show the data, as well as a lot of the tests show graphs and charts and different formats like that, so you can get a really in-depth look at what you're dealing with. See if there's changes by things you do or tweaks you make, or if you've actually solved the problem, or if the problem is where it is, etc., etc. It's a really handy feature, and again, it's not something you get on those lower end models, so yeah, it's worth checking out. A lot of other people online have done these kind of tutorials and whatnot on these scanners, but what I've really noticed is missing, and it's not easily understandable, it's not intuitive, let's say, that you would know how to do it right off the bat, is printing and getting your data from the scanner itself to your laptop without having to use a card reader or whatever. So that's what we're going to get into today here. So you plug this thing in, like I said, plug in one end to your laptop and the other end into the unit, and it takes a couple seconds. It's not a touchscreen, unfortunately, and I've had it for a long time, and I still try to do the touchscreen right off the bat. So it takes a bit to get used to that. So you navigate down to the update section and you hit enter. From there, it'll update it and adds it this screen that says press enter when you're done, the download is finished. Now, the reason you have to hit update is because update both loads data from your scanner up to your laptop, or from your laptop down to the scanner. So when you want to do an update and say download the latest versions of the codes, or you're downloading a specific manufacturer code like Porsche or Ford or Dodge or whatever, you go on here, you do the update, and then the app, which is called Fox Scan, will be loaded up on your laptop or desktop, and from there it'll populate a list that you can either choose all of them and download all of them, like Porsche, Dodge, Honda, BMW, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth, or you can pick just the single ones you want to work with, and that will download to the scanner, and then you're good to go again. Update also means that you're updating your test results from the scanner to the computer. So a little bit counterintuitive. Like I said, you would think update be update this, but it's actually update both ways. So for the second portion of the video, I'm going to go into screen captures of the actual app itself, because you do not see it on here, and we'll go through how to take the data from here, put it onto the computer, print it out, copy and paste it, email it, save it, whatever you want to do. So that's the next section. So stay tuned for the next part. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so in the second part here, we're going to talk about how to print and how to get the information uploaded and downloaded from your scanner to your laptop. It can take a bit to populate the list if you have any lag at all. There we go. So these are the ones you can download, and I have most of them already. I'm not going to put them en masse because it can take a little while. I'll just show you with, say, the seat one here. So update that one. This is a fairly small one, so it shouldn't take that long. There, now that one's done, and we can go over here, and it should be in here somewhere, right there. So as you can see, it was there. There it is. That's the one we just put in there. Alright, so now we have that. This section over here, the print, these are the tests that are already on the scanner. These are the ones I've done, the different tests and vehicles I've done. There's several different types. They're sorted. You can sort them by the file size. The bigger the test, the more information that's in there usually, obviously. So you can double click on them and it will load up the results of the test. You can delete them, you can print them, you can open them up and then copy them and paste them into Word documents or emails or text messages, whatever you want to do with them, depending on, there's a whole variety of different ones depending on what type of test you've run. So you should watch for down in this area because sometimes depending on the test there are multiple pages, and it will show you right in the middle between the print and the delete if there are multiple pages in there. Okay, so that's just basically a quick thing on how to get the information up and down from your scanner to your computer. The My Profile section here is important to fill out properly, because if at any time you change computers or you have to re-enter your information here, they use this to verify your scanner, which is registered directly to this information that you put on here. Nobody else can register your scanner once you've registered it. So, and in order to receive updates, you do have to register it. So make sure you save this and you put it somewhere safe so that you have access to it later. It sucks if you have to, your computer crashes or you get a new one and you reinstall the Foxscan software and you can't get in because you don't have the right information, and that information is paramount. As you can see, it's registered to you with all that information, which will be blurred out when you see it, but yeah. And when you go online to their websites, they're not the best with customer service and that, so far, that I found in my experience. And a lot of the fields where you're supposed to enter the serial number or whatnot, they don't give you any options. You can click it, it opens up, but there's nothing there, and you cannot proceed without that information. So yeah, protect yourself now and make sure that you have it well documented. So that is the basics of it. The updates in that, you can get, there's another one with the seat, or other ones like the steering angles, and these are for Minis and Peugeots and Porsches. I don't really deal with those, so I don't need them on my scanner. If I did, then I could come in and get them at any time. So that's the soup to nuts of that one, and we'll go into more of that warranty stuff and registering in a second here. Each specific region has a different Foxwell website. So there's one for Australia, Asia, North America, Europe, etc. And you need to make sure that you register your product, your scanner, to the correct website. Download the Foxscan software for that region, and then when you enter in your information, keep a copy of it safe somewhere, because if you forget or whatever, or enter in the wrong information, fake name and so on, then if you ever need to sign up again for more updates and whatnot, it can be a colossal hassle if you don't have that information. They do not make it easy to sign up again, and because you have to enter in the serial number and the password that is in the machine itself, in the scanner itself, it becomes even more difficult, as once that is registered to you, it is only registered to you, and you can't re-register it as far as I understand. The one thing I didn't like about Foxwell is they weren't overly easy to communicate with. Most requests in that go unanswered. That might just have been my specific issue, but it was not easy like you would think it would be for a company that large. When you have to register it, inside the machine in the About section is a password, and that is right underneath the serial number. In some places it's one solid chunk, so the serial number and the password are amalgamated together, and it's up to you to know when the serial number ends and the password begins. The way you can do that is at the very back of the machine is the serial number, and you find the last two digits of that serial number, and then when you look in the machine you can see where the serial number ends and where the password begins. So just make sure you keep your information safe and sign up for the right website, the right region. If not, getting the updates and that for it is going to be pretty difficult. Aside from the difficulties contacting customer support and whatnot, I am thrilled with the Foxwell scanner I have. They're absolutely amazing. If you've come from using the little ones that, the cheap ones, to something like this, you're going to be blown away. It's a serious tool, and it takes a lot of the guesswork out of doing anything on your newer vehicles. So yeah, if you like the video, hit that subscribe and thumbs up and all that, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Take care.